All right, guys, here is what our Canvas quiz looks like today. It says right here, consider the equation y equals 1/2 x. And it also said in the instructions that you need graph paper. So before I show you what we're typing in here and what we're doing, you need to write a lot of stuff on graph paper. So I have a piece of graph paper here that I've already started setting up, and I'm going to show you how I was setting those up. First, there are 8 problems on this Canvas quiz. So I did what we've done a lot of times now, and I folded this to make 8 boxes, just all on one side. So you know how to do that, but fold in half, pause me if you need to, fold in half, fold in half. So you get down to this size, then you can shake it open. And you can totally decide which direction you like better. For some reason, I like it better this way. I feel like my x-axis needs to be longer than my y-axis. I don't know why. So I turned my paper this direction and started drawing them, but it works either way. But once you decide that which direction, here's all I did after that. So if this is and make sure you'll have this, and try not to write on this if you're using my paper, or if yours has this reinforcing, try not to write on that, it'll just wipe right off. So I'm gonna put number 1 right here. So this one, I just kind of eyeballed it, but you could count exact squares and try to draw one that's approximately the middle. So I drew horizontally across here, and I'm gonna label this. This is, of course, my x-axis. See that little x right there? And then I kind of eyeballed this way, and I draw this way. This is my y-axis. Okay, and I'm going to do that for all these boxes because I need an x and y axis. I'm going to do individual graphs for all 8 of these problems. So again, I decided that I wanted mine to go this direction because I just like the y-axis to be longer. I feel like it gives me more room to graph what I need to graph. You can decide though, it really doesn't matter. So this is x and this is y. So I have these first 4 drawn. You can pause me if you need to draw. If you want to draw all 8 of them first, you will need all 8, but I'm not going to take you through all 8 right now. I'm just going to take you through the first one to make sure we know what we're doing and what we're supposed to type in. So now that I've got this set up, and no, you don't need to trace over all those grid lines. That's what the graph paper is for. The grid lines are already there. They're right there for you to use. So all you had to do was show me where's your x and your y axis so that I know where your origin is, and then we can verify that you're graphing correctly from that. Okay, so that first equation says y equals 1/2 x. It asks me on Canvas what m and b are. I'm going to write it down just in the corner of my paper here. It said y equals 1/2 x, which means m equals 1/2 and b equals 0. Okay, whether or not you write it down, you will have to type it into Canvas. So we'll look at that in a second. But remember to graph. Graphing is going to be a hugely important skill in this particular standard. We're going to do it a lot. So remember to graph, you have to start with the B. That's the y-intercept. So this one starts at the origin. So I can put a dot there. My slope is positive 1/2. So from there, I'm going to go up 1 over 2. Remember this, graphing? Up 1 over 2. And I'm going to do it up 1 over 2 as many times as I can fit. This one kind of gets on the fold, but that's okay. I'll draw it anyway. And then I go back this way, down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. See, it really doesn't matter which way you draw it because I would have been able to fit more dots if I'd gone the other direction. Some of them you'll be able to fit more dots going this way. Really doesn't matter. So now I connect my dots and I put arrows on the end, and this blue line represents all the solutions to the equation y equals 1/2 x. Is that all familiar to you? You need graph paper because you need to be able to graph things by hand. You need to be able to show this and watch things really closely, like positive slope. Remember, it goes up and over, but over is always to the right, where negative slope goes down and over, but over is still to the right. You should pause and look at your graph and think, if I were going left to right, positive slope should climb upward, negative slope should climb downward. 7 more graphs that you got to sketch out on this paper, and then last one, you take a picture and upload it so that we can see that you actually did the work here. Now to put this into Canvas, just to give you reminders and show you what you're supposed to type in, keep you on track here, here's what it actually has you type in. So the slope is 1/2. We wrote it on our paper. Type it into Canvas. M equals 1/2. B equals 0. This part says graph the line on your paper. Of course, you're doing that on your paper, and then just type the word done when you finished it so that you don't forget. I don't want anybody to think this is all you have to do and type in, because when you get to the bottom, it says upload a clear picture showing all 8 of your graph lines, and I should be able to see all of your beautiful graphs that you graphed by hand. If you have any questions, please ask your math teacher.